Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this live stream. This is kind of like our mastermind members only call. So what we have here is something unique. We've been promising you this. I'm excited. So we have our users of our applications here. So the way we're going to structure this is basically for the benefit of everybody, right? So those who are here, we'll be asking some questions. What campaigns you want to build? Why do you want to build them? Do you want to generate leads? Do you want to do it as an agency or consultant? What is your use case? And kind of going over members campaigns, right? I'm going to walk through some ideas and some strategies and some tactics. Yash as well will be joining in and adding along those lines. And from there, the goal is that this is the start. We want to do more of these. So I will also get to understand based on the comments and questions and that sort of thing. Even after this live stream is done, okay, this I liked. So we'll focus on that going forward. Okay. That's the basic idea with this. Because the idea is that it's all about you guys, right? So I've been doing this stuff for 15 years. Sometimes I forget so many things. Like I don't even know where somebody is starting, and sometimes I kind of skip through certain things, which I thought was pretty normal, standard stuff. So that's why I don't want to do that right now. Because one thing that I wanted to mention here, we're going to be talking about the Talking Photos AI application. So I'll be showing some progress and everything, and that's going to be coming up. And we've taken your feedback in, so that's exciting. But one thing I've noticed over the last almost 3 years or so, specifically, is that a lot of the times, right, when you talk about AI technologies and all that, this it's a very fast-moving industry, right? It's like literally every week there's new developments. Already, just so folks know, ChatGPT is obsolete now because Facebook introduced or Meta introduced Llama, right? Llama 3.1 recently, just as an example, okay? That is right now, and Mistral, the one I've been showing you folks, both are free to use, right? Are basically better than ChatGPT right now for a lot of use cases. So that's interesting if you think about it, right? Like when we were just talking about, let's say, even 3 months ago, everybody were talking about like, oh, ChatGPT 4.0 is here or whatever. It's already obsolete. So now the question becomes then, if everything is becoming obsolete, what do I focus on, right? Because what sometimes even I'm teaching could be too late or too outdated, so to speak, right? So what I want to focus on is today as well is to look at the bigger picture, of course, but also talk about the tactics and how you can succeed. And more importantly, I wanted to also talk about where the focus points are. Okay, so let's talk about that right away because we have all of you folks here. So those here, so for you folks, okay, who are here and those who are watching as well, okay, guys. What I wanted to explain is there's two approaches right now happening in the AI space. Okay, one in particular is enterprises. Okay, so enterprises means, let's say, your IBM, right? Your McDonald's, like your Chipotle, these are the enterprises, right? What happens is with these big enterprises, they will not deal with small businesses or agencies or even guys like you and me. They will most likely deal with public companies, right? So that public company could be, say, an Amazon, right? Or a KPMG or a PricewaterhouseCoopers. So these Deloitte, right? These consulting companies. And they will say, look, we want a solution, give it to us, whatever, right? And they'll budget across some amount of hundreds of millions or whatever. That the problem is all the discussion right now is happening in that layer. You go to CNBC, you go to Wall Street Journal or whatever. A lot of the stuff is there because that's what the stock market people, investors think about. Now there's another layer here, and that is what I want to talk about today. What happens is, like, if you think about it, right? If you look at a foundational technology, right? Like when we talk about Google, right? That was a foundational technology, search, right? You had Yellow Pages in the past. Then suddenly Google comes in and like, oh, we have search engine now. And then in the early days, I remember because I was there back in 2004, 2005. And I keep telling this example because people should understand. What happened was everybody were talking about how search as a medium for generating traffic is something only for enterprises, right? What I mean by that is Nike, some company like Coca-Cola, right? These companies, what they'll do is they'll say, okay, in every year, we want to allocate $200 million for internet advertising, 500 million for TV advertising, whatever, right? And they didn't care what we like to call direct response. Okay, what that means is if I spend X amount, can I get that amount right away, right? And those who understood, okay, look, search engine, somebody's searching for something, I send traffic over somewhere, and that person can be a lead, that person could buy something from me, they can do that right away on the internet. That people didn't understand. That took some time. Okay, so people don't understand this. I'll give you some history just quickly, because when we talk about it, it's important. When Google came in the early days, a lot of people had dial-up internet connection, so the search was very slow. So when people typed something, they would only have the bandwidth to search for the first two listings on Google, right? One or two. And the irony of it was the first one or two are generally ads, right? The sponsored listings where you'd have to spend money on. So in the early days, in 2004, 2005, 2006, if you could just pay for advertising with Google and somebody clicked on that first link, you would be getting 80% of the traffic those days, right? For a lot of keywords. And so people didn't understand that. They were like, oh, it's an enterprise thing. We don't know. And then those who understood, okay, look, a lead is a lead. Traffic is traffic at the end of the day, right? They ended up making a killing, right? That's what happens when mobile apps came in. Like people had like the dumbest of mobile applications that in the early days did really well. Those who understood, look, traffic is traffic, whether it's a mobile phone or it's a software and a computer, same thing, right? So let's talk about the AI layer now, right? So what I'm trying to explain is when you talk about where the focus is headed towards, I'll kind of explain to you folks, okay? So there's two approaches right now on the non-enterprise level, right? Smaller level, small businesses, medium-sized businesses. One is AI agents. What that effectively means is that you can train AI to do specific tasks, right? Write me an article, create me a video, create me an image, or create me a thumbnail for YouTube, right? And that is something a lot of research is going into right now. All the big companies, everybody, including us, everybody's doing into for specific use cases, right? So what will happen for you folks, today we'll talk about one of those areas, which is video, right? We can talk about images too, but we'll talk about video as well. But a lot of the stuff is also going into sending emails, reading your Gmail account and responding to your emails, right? That is AI agents. Definitely, that'll be the future, 100%. There's no question about it. The other aspect of it, which is still in experimental stages, is basically, for example, going more towards replacing people. What that means is what I just talked about could be more like an assistant, right? Think of like Jarvis for Iron Man. You can ask questions and get responses and intelligently respond, do tasks and stuff. The other one is more towards like, okay, I have an idea to build an application. Can you build that application for me, right? I have an idea where I have, let's say, I'm in the factory floor. I'm going to train you on how to do this task. And then the robot or whatever will learn through vision or whatever and do it. That and self-driving cars and all that, right? Those are more realistic too. They'll happen. But for us in particular, not as much of a focal point. I'll tell you why. For that, you need a lot of resources, a lot of money, and more importantly, that again goes into more like if you go into self-driving cars, where is the value there for you to add, right? What can you do there? If you go into, say, in the factory floor, let's say a company is creating a robot which can see, hear, and react. Well, that company will be most likely selling that robot to an Amazon warehouse, right? Where are you going to add value there? So that is the reason why when I want to do these masterminds and stuff with you folks, just understand where the future is headed, right? When you understand that, implementation becomes very easy for you, and you don't have to get distractions, right? One of the saddest things online right now, I see somebody comes in, I'm this guru with AI or whatever, and then they talk about like, stuff that doesn't even exist, right? Like they'll say, I created an algorithm and AI which can send emails and also understand my phone calls, answer phone calls for me. Not there yet. And as I told you, it will not be possible for one company to solve all the problems. Like they cannot create a call center agent. They cannot create like a video creation tool. They cannot do like email responding. It'll be specific, like just like how you have email marketing companies now, you have website design companies now, you have different software for different purposes. You're going to have specific AIs for specific purposes, right? So to understand, then let's come back to the AI video in particular, because it's reality now, right? And it's only going to get better over the next 3 to 4 months as we are ourselves coming up for our AI tools as well, like Video Express and stuff. We're going to be having version 2.0, for example, which is going to blow you guys away. We're going to be releasing that soon. What's going to happen there is, let's talk about what are we doing, okay? So step number one, let's talk about it. One is stock footage, as we know it, is dead, okay? Let's discuss that. It's very important you guys understand. Before, me, Yash, we used to pay, I remember, $15 to $30 for one stock video, right? So let's say you want to do B-roll footage behind like a video. or you had to create like one of these videos with like stock people doing activities, actions, like 15-second clips. You know what I'm talking about, right? Shutterstock, iStock, you get the point. That is kind of dying. Okay, in the next, probably already stock images is dead. A lot of the companies are going bankrupt right now, which are doing stock photos, right? If you were to stock video, that's what's happening now. It's going to be replaced, and that will all automatically mean the value of footage is kind of not that valuable anymore. Like before, I'd be like, guys, okay, you have this application right now. Okay, stock footage, normally people have to pay $15 per video. Now you can go and you can create videos for your clients or your business, $15 per video. So it will cost you, let's say, a 60-second video or a 5-minute video would cost you, say, $100 of stock footage. Now you don't have to spend that. It'll cost you almost maybe $2 or $5 or whatever. And that's where the arbitrage is happening, value add, right? Now what I'm seeing, and that's going to happen in the near term, next 2 to 3 months or so, is the concept of stock footage is dying. And you'll see that the version 2.0 Video Express is going to be coming up. You'll understand it when I explain it, but I'm just trying to put that in perspective. Okay. So then where are we headed then? So where we are headed right now is, realistically, if you understand, 90% of all content consumed online is video, right? So we used to now say, okay, we have to have us speaking in front of the camera. That's with spokesperson stuff, AI and all that. That's kind of sorted. Second thing now is, we used to say, I want to create a beautiful, captivating video. I want stock footage, B-roll footage, and all that. AI is kind of taking over there. We used to say, okay, text-to-speech voice is robotic. I'm gonna hire a spokesperson, not a spokesperson. Like, what do you call these guys? Like some like radio broadcaster kind of voiceovers, right? You pay people per minute of recording. That's kind of dead, right? With all these AI text to speech is as good as, and we are working on one. I'll be talking about that in the next couple of months, maybe, where text to speech is going to be lifelike. You'll not know the difference between a real spokesperson with voice versus a non-human, right? So then, really, where are we headed then? Before we were discussing, right? I remember 2, 3 years ago, funnily enough, we used to discuss like, oh, AI is gonna go and build houses for you, right? I actually had somebody come in like 2 years ago, like these big robots were building homes, right? The problem was, when we looked deeper into it, the wiring and the electricals and the plumbing had to be done by a human. So the numbers didn't make any sense. So nobody invested in that, right? There's no money there. So what we're really seeing is AI is going into the creative space now, right? You guys know it. I mean, you guys are smart enough to understand, gals. So then realistically, we have this golden period, okay? We like to call the golden age now, okay? Which is basically where content, which used to take, say, let's say a week to create, can be done in a few minutes. And the quality of that content is exactly the same or even better, because you have more control over it, right? So that means, in other words, for those of you who understand, right, that if 90% of all content consumed on the internet, which is billions of people, Facebook has 2 billion daily active users, just Facebook and Instagram alone, right? YouTube, I think, just over 1.5, 2 billion. TikTok is just around 1 billion. So if you look at these people, they're out there, right? These are people from all industries everywhere, right? So then realistically now, let's discuss, right? This is where I want to talk to you folks and help you folks create campaigns, right? So we'll talk about like what industry you guys are in and stuff like that, our users here. So then realistically, if your audience is somewhere and let's say they're on YouTube, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, then what we have to understand then is, how do we attract them and how do we convert them into leads and then potentially sales, right? And then realistically with AI, we have the workflow being speed, right? Speed is the name of the game now, right? So if you can put stuff out there quickly, and that which will captivate attention, it's like no different than back in the day in the search engine space, right? In Google, I had my first success, right? I had with no money. The advantage I had was I figured out a way to build, say, 1,000 web pages in a few minutes, right? A few hours even, for different keywords. So then, since Google was in the early stages and somebody didn't create an automated system to build so many pages, when somebody typed in like how to lose weight before my wedding, my website was number one, because I built a website page with an article only on that topic. You see what I'm saying? So right now, where we are headed is the same thing for video. Does that make sense, guys? So what that means is, like, if you are able to go after markets and specific industries, and you're able to target them, and you can do that content very quickly. You have that gold rush happening now because you have all these people in these platforms which who are just literally putting their finger up and checking videos in shorts and stuff. And we've shown some case studies as well, and we'll talk about some as well today. It changes the game for you. Okay, is that clear, everybody? So now, considering this, I'll leave the floor to you folks. Give us, each of you guys, I'll give you like maybe 30 seconds. Just let us know your industries. I'll make a note of it. And then what we'll do is we'll talk about some campaigns you can build and what your end goal will be. Is that clear? So that way other people who are, and I appreciate everybody for being here. You got to be brave a little bit to be in front of the camera. I appreciate you guys. And so take your time, no rush, and just kind of explain a little bit about what industry you guys want to reach. Even if you don't have one, we'll discuss. I'll give you some ideas. And then what we will do is then basically, because it's a mastermind, right? I'll tell you, if I were to start right now with no money, no resources, just the tools we have right now, you guys, what do we do next, right? And then we'll go from there. So who wants to go? Just raise your hand. Who wants to go first? And then thereafter. Okay, Ray, you go ahead. You raised first. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Ray Easton. I'm from Bakersfield, California. My background is in information technology and recently web hosting and design. I also do a digital marketing, social media marketing. And here recently, I've been going back to YouTube because of the Video Express and Talking Photos project. This YouTube thing is super cool because I've been trying to find ways to get customers, and it's so busy out there. But this YouTube thing seems to be gaining traction, and I hear Jerry Maguire in my head say, show me the money, and Google has the money. So that's kind of why I'm excited about this.
Cool. So let's just run through it, right? Right. So what your business is like web hosting, web design, agency type of services to help brands, businesses grow, right? And that could be social media management. That could be anything, right? Along the lines of how you can help a business, correct?
Yeah. But what I'm thinking of doing now, and I was listening to your other masterminds, and you talked about the evolution of WordPress, because I love WordPress, and that's what I use. And you talked about how the industry isn't there yet, and that got me thinking. I gotta slow down on this WordPress thing because the wave's already hit. And I remember you saying that, and I was just like, he's talking to me. And I just sort of decided I need to do something different. I need to do something where the numbers are.
Correct. Okay. So let's like kind of go into the layers here, right? So very straightforward, all right? So the way things work, right? And I kind of mentioned this in some other trainings, but in case for those who haven't been here, just for the benefit of everybody as well. So you're right, 100% right. Okay. When the wave is going up, like when let's say the chart is this way, right, going up, like you could be a complete idiot sometimes, make a lot of mistakes and still do well because the wave is going up, right? Like you could make mistakes and still the wave will carry you, right? So to speak. I'll give you an example. So like Google, right? Like if you invested your time into Google and not Ask Jeeves and Yahoo search and like whatever, like you could have been an idiot and still done well simply because of the fact that you picked the right horse, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happened to me. Like I got lucky and timing was correct. I just picked Google and stuff like dogpile.com or like myspace.com or one of the other ones, right? So there were like 17 search engines at that time, just for reference, right? So with the AI thing, that's what we are noticing. So the main thing is you got to know where the wave is, right? As I mentioned earlier in the call. So the point is there's two ways, right? One is content creation is sped up now. So to answer your question, what next, right? You'd want to create videos, both for your business to start off with, right? How do we get reach and stuff like that? We'll talk about that today. It'll also help you as a business, right? How do you get leads to you as somebody offering services or whatever, right? The second thing we're going to talk about is how do you do it for other clients as well, for you, right? In particular, because it's like this, right? You go to a dentist, chiropractor, or plastic surgeon, or you go to a realtor or whatever. They're like, dude, just give me leads, right? I don't care. Like, I just want results. Like, they're not going to be like, I want you to create me 5 TikTok videos and 7 YouTube shorts. People just like, where is the value, right? Where am I getting the benefit? So generally speaking, and we talk about, which Yasha as well was mentioning, and we already got comments on it, shorts. Really, really hot now. It's gold rush. Why is that the case? Well, it's because before people had to search on YouTube or Instagram or whatever for what they liked. Now the algorithm, because they're all copying TikTok, it just shows stuff, right? And now here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. What we are noticing right now, unfortunately, because of the political climate and because of what's happening around the world, echo chambers are being formed, right? Whether we like it or not, it's a fact. So that means if people like a certain politician or a certain type of politics, or people, let's say in the weight loss space, there are people who believe in ketogenic diet, right, which is a low carb, high protein diet. There are people who are like, no, 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 carbs are important. You got to have a balanced diet. Then there are people who are like gluten-free diet. There's like 7 or 8 different belief systems. There's like one where it is the carnivore diet. They only eat meat, nothing else, no vegetables, nothing. So what happens is when people show interest in one of those topics, the algorithm only feeds them that. It's almost like these people don't even know ketogenic diet exists for people who have a carnivore diet as an interest, or at least they're interested in that. There's something called raw food diet. What these guys do is they never cook food and they just eat raw food, raw potatoes or whatever, right? And so what happens is when somebody shows interest in that, they watch 1 or 2 videos, only that content is showed to them, whether it's in YouTube, whether it is in TikTok, whether it's in Instagram or something like that. So that is an opportunity, because here's the thing. Before, it'll be like, is your video good production value, or you're spending a lot of money? Is your video have a nice branding or whatever? No, it's more like, which echo chamber is your video serving? Simple. Like, so if you understand that, then it simplifies the thought process here, right? So let's say, for example, in your case, you talked about WordPress, right? Now, whether you're doing WordPress or whatever, what was the benefit of WordPress? Let's be frank here. They got top search engine rankings, right? You create a WordPress page. Generally, they used to rank top of Google simply because of the blogging. The comment system was one way, kind of search engines benefited it. Now, what you're seeing more so is, even though sometimes you might get rankings, what's happening is Google and all these platforms, they want to get more people to spend money on advertising. So you will see the top 3 listings and the bottom 3 listings are ads now. So it's much harder now for search engines, like even on WordPress and stuff, for somebody to come. And even then, your goal should be to generate leads, right? So if somebody comes to WordPress, put a pop-up after 3 seconds or whatever to have them opt in. So how I would position is, you'd want to create a subsection, right? Like, and you can create even a couple of channels or 3 channels, doesn't really matter, but focus on one thing, and then it'll be us versus them concept. So that means, for example, you would be like, hey, for example, like, here's why WordPress is the best solution and static HTML websites suck, blah, 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 right? Why am I doing that? It's because those people who are WordPress related people will only see that content, and it fulfills their echo chamber. You see what I'm saying? And people are like, no, 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 I don't agree. It's like now normal type of HTML pages or whatever are better. And then they argue with each other and just increases your reach, right? So that's what you're noticing quite a bit, okay? And similarly, even when you go, let's say for clients, like, in your case, right? Back in the day, let's say you were creating videos, it was all about like watch time, how much content was being watched and stuff. Now it's more like, okay, how much, like YouTube, I mentioned this before, for those folks who are basically here, it'll probably help you guys. The algorithm has ranking based upon different reactions or actions people who watch take. Okay, so let's say, for example, in a YouTube short video, let's say, right, their number one thing right now is shares. Like, are people sharing it with different, like Instagram, right? You guys might have noticed it in Instagram Reels. Like, if people click on share and send it to their friends, it gets like the highest point. Like, imagine 10 points for that. If they like, it's 2 points, let's say. They watch the whole thing, maybe like another 3 points. If they comment, maybe like 5 points. So meaning, let's look at that. Shares, number one, 10 points, let's say, hypothetically. And then if they comment, 5 points. So meaning, if you can get people to comment and share, even if you don't get likes, it doesn't really matter, right? It's because the algorithm is like, oh, whoa, so many people are sharing it, something is there. I've noticed it recently. We've done research on it where, like, literally the video will get like 10 likes, right? But like 2,000 shares. and everybody keeps watching it because people now, it's like these shorts videos, they don't have time to go and comment or like, right? They're like, okay, I watched it, interesting, let me go to this channel and subscribe because I like this type of content, right? Or they watch it, they can get fed even if they don't like it, or even if they don't agree with it, the same content again and again, right? So that is a very common thing right now. So when it comes to this AI video in particular, what I want you folks to focus on is this us versus them thing, meaning who is the competition and who is your what is your main product or service or whatever, right? So let's say, for example, I'm doing organic gardening, right? I'll be like, organic gardening is the best thing because what is against like fertilizers or whatever pesticides that they use is not good for your food. Now people that are like, dude, I cannot afford organic food, it's too expensive, and then the discussion will lead to more people to watch your content, right? So before we even begin, that's what I was trying to tell you guys. It's like customer psychology, right? That's what we want to learn first, because AI is going to make our video creation process as of today and even into the near term, like let's say next 4 or 5 months even. I'm not even talking next 2 3 years. Next 4 or 5 months even, it'll be indistinguishable between a high quality video versus an AI generated video. So then really it's all about storytelling and what it is it that you're trying to convey, right? The message and the messaging to the right person. So is that clear, guys? Does it make sense what I'm trying to say? So meaning, in other words, like I'd rather reach the people who will agree or disagree with me than try to please everybody. Very important right now. Okay, so it's like even if I have to tarnish the competition, even if I have to say like, look, the other guys right here have these issues. It's okay. It's totally fine. You don't have to impress everybody. Similarly, again, coming back to the other point, so the algorithm. Let's come back to the algorithm, guys. Okay, so one of the things people don't understand is that in YouTube, as an example, right? So the algorithm has changed. Okay, in the early days, what used to be, it was thumbnail based. Okay, like you had this clickbaity thumbnail, like shark is eating a man or something. Guy clicks on it. There's no shark. There's no man, right? But then because of the clicks, people click through rate, we used to call it, meaning how many percent, what's the percentage of people who clicked on a video and then moved, they would rank those high. Now what it is like, okay, this person was interested in organic farming. This person was interested in WordPress, right? This person was interested in some obscure thing. Doesn't really matter. What's going to happen is now, if that points what I'm talking about, right? Watch time is one important thing, but also likes, shares, comments, the number they're checking. If it meets a certain threshold, what they will do is they'll first automatically. So let's say somebody has their phone and they're browsing it, it'll show it to the next 10,000 people. You see what I'm saying? And then if the same numbers hold up, then they will send it to the next 100,000 people. The numbers hold up, they'll put it in the homepage, right? When you come to the homepage, you see some videos, you're like, the guy has like 300 subscribers or like 124. Why isn't it in the homepage? Because they're testing. And if that numbers apply, they don't care anymore. Because what happened is YouTube and these platforms started seeing people like all this clickbaity crap, like in the past 3 4 years, they have like 5 million subscribers, but their content sucks, right? Doesn't have any relevance. And so they don't want to, just because you have 5 million subscribers, we ain't going to just feed you free views, right? They want people to keep coming back and watching, right? In the related videos and all that kind of stuff. So then coming back to the main discussion here, Ray, and the other guys here as well, and gals. So I'll ask you some other questions as well. It's to understand who your target audience is. That's all our job is now, Ray. Okay, who are we reaching? What is the age group? What are their likes and dislikes? And realistically, like if I had to create the perfect avatar, customer avatar, what would it be? If you just know that much, everything else will fall into place, because AI can do the script writing, AI can do the video creation, AI can do all this other stuff, which we'll talk about specifics today as well. But we have to just realize that, okay? And if you understand that, so Ray, let me ask you, who's your ideal client? Like, is it a business, small business? Is it who is it, just generally? Who would be
Um,
paid you the most amount of money so far? Like, let's say you had the most success with, like, generally.
I First off, I'm my first customer. I have like all these websites and all these different brands, so I use the tools for me to get a presentation and visuals out there. But I've actually been targeting small businesses, small to medium sized businesses, like on LinkedIn, social media, LinkedIn a little bit more. So that's kind of what my audience is. With the shorts, I have a book that I've been working on, and so I set up a YouTube page based around what that book ideally was going to be. It was also going to be a game. So I just figured I put stories around it. It has nothing to do with everything else that I'm doing, but I'm seeing traction from it. So once again, I'm back to show me the money. Wherever the traffic is, wherever the money is, that's kind of where I'm going to direct my focus. So that's kind of small to medium sized businesses. But with this shorts thing, it's more so it's people interested in entertainment, I guess, fantasy entertainment, motivational, inspirational.
Not
So
exactly two, actually. Yeah, showed those examples, but like what I wanted to mention is again, it comes back to the point of the ideal avatar, right? Customer avatar. So like I'll give you an example. Some like I consult with somebody who's in the commercial real estate space, so to speak, like they do like very big deals. And the gentleman basically does land development, right? So what they do is like if there's land, they will figure out what is the best use for that land, right? Do we develop a commercial plaza? Do you develop some apartment building, whatever, right? It's a very specialized field, not many players in that game. So this gentleman wrote a book, right? Like what you're saying. And like you will see the content is specifically catered to a specific target, like get 400 views or 300 views or maybe 1,300 views. But you wouldn't believe this, like this person is making an absolute killing because when people search, right, for them, like they're like, oh, this person has some presence, right, or this person knows what they're talking about, and they're noticing that quite a bit. So for those who are taking some notes and stuff like that, is get straight to the point now. Okay, that times have changed where you create a video and you're like, in this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 ways to actually help you grow like organic vegetables or lose weight. No, it's like, here's 5 steps to lose weight. Number one, blah, blah, blah. Number two, number three, number four. Simple, no wasting time, right? Every second matters these days. So this is the reason why I'm trying to say, it's like, I'll give you an example, right? So like, imagine like you're getting married and then you want to lose weight for your wedding, and then you go in and you're like, okay, my wedding is in 48 hours or my 72 hours or whatever, I just want to lose those last whatever 2 pounds or 3 pounds weight. You're not going to be sitting there and like going through somebody who's like, oh, I was married 10 years ago when I was having this issue, this problem, blah blah blah. You're like, dude, just give me the 5 things I need to do, I don't have time, right? And that you're noticing quite a bit doing really really well. So today when we talk about these, some things sounds basic, but when implemented and doing it consistently, especially with AI, it's automated right across the board, it makes a lot of difference. That's the reason why we're saying, like, first, before you can walk, you need to crawl, right? So the thing is, in YouTube and these platforms, you got to get monetized, right? If you don't do that as a starting point, then the problem becomes a lot of the stuff we teach doesn't kind of apply in a sense, because if you don't get monetized on YouTube, you cannot put a URL, let's say, for example, underneath the video. You cannot say, for example, do certain things, right? And so that's one of the focus points. That's why we say shorts. It doesn't mean that you have to always create shorts or whatever, but it's the fastest way to get monetized now, because getting views is so easy with it, right? Like we've had, like, literally just in the past few days alone, we have so many comments. Like, I put up some shorts, got 5,000 views, I got 10,000. Like, there's somebody did it in Spanish recently and like different languages. And it sounds like, oh, wow, 10,000 views, but it's not a lot for shorts. That's the thing. And then you do it enough, there's that snowball effect, right? The momentum. So yeah. So coming back to the point, folks, we got to understand like what AI cannot do, and then what is that? What it cannot do? Customer psychology. See, it doesn't understand what your end users' problems are. It doesn't understand. It kind of guesses it, but doesn't understand. So we're looking at the ideal customer avatar here, right? So even in my videos, folks, like sometimes somebody mentioned, right? Like like Paul, your YouTube channel, you got like some 5,000 users, 10,000 views at once. Well, those 5,000 people have bought something from me in the past, or 10,000 people have bought. I would value that over a million views of people who are just never purchased anything and just skip and move on. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta understand the relevancy here. So don't just put a million views or 2 million views. It has no value. It's like, who are we targeting? Are they people who have money? Are they people who will be receptive to this message? Are they people who will like to see more of this stuff, right? Because you gotta understand, right? People are looking for a solution all the time. They go, they search constantly, then they're like, oh, this person had good content, let me watch another video. And then they're like, okay, this person recommended me this, I value their feedback and go, right? Like, for example, this a perfect example of customer psychology, right? Like, Let's say somebody, sprained their ankle, right? They go to the doctor. Doctor is like, I want you to get this band-aid, and I want you to get this painkiller, right? And then it's not even a prescribed thing. So what you'll do, you'll go to the pharmacy and you'll skip all the other stuff, all the painkillers and stuff. You'll just go and go to the pharmacy and like this stuff, like this is what the doctor suggested, right? Or even a chiropractor or whatever. Similarly, in real life, a lot of the situations occur like that. Like somebody, let's say, suggests like, oh, buy this baby product. If you have like, I had a baby right now, like somebody, I'm just walking on the street with my wife the other day, somebody's like, you got to buy this stroller. It's really good. And I was like, okay, it's a mom. She has experience. Fine, done. Like no need for you to think, right? Similarly, I was watching some videos on how do you do this. Like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. I'll buy it, right? Don't think, because it's the value of somebody who kind of is having that, who, how subconsciously, like, I agree, that makes sense, right? And then you'll be like, okay, I agree with this person. I'll go buy whatever they have to sell or offer or whatever, right? And so this is what people don't understand. And this is what I kind of wanted to drive home, which is don't worry too much about the views, guys. Don't worry too much about the likes. The way the game is now is all about the reach. Okay. It's like, okay, this person I want, this is my ideal customer. Even if 100 people watch it, it's good. This is where AI will kill it. This is why I'm saying golden rush, right? The gold rush is here. And you'll see some of the things we are doing as well. Like I cannot reveal too much what we're doing behind the scenes with AI stuff, which I'll show you once the results are there, because people are like, oh, yeah, sure, you're doing this, Paul. But imagine this, guys, okay? Imagine this. Before, like I show this example to you folks all the time, right? And you have to understand this. Like if you really, really get it, it'll drive home completely, okay? So let me share my screen here real quick, okay? So let me show you here. Yeah, here. Yeah, so this is fiverr.com, right, guys? So like if you go and you put spokesperson or UGC video, UGC is a user-generated video, right? And like just I'm trying to explain to you guys, okay, here. So like somebody just speaking, right? Like this guy right here just speaking here. This guy with Norwegian is just speaking or whatever. And right now the value for this is like I believe around $200 for like 1 minute, okay? Rough average, some 400, some 150, whatever. Now think of it this way, right? With AI, we're able to generate almost as good as videos like these, right? And it's only going to get better with time. And you know this fact. So that means what's going to happen right now. Why is somebody spending like this guy right here, right? Let's like just some random one, right? But like $400 with B-rolls. I talked about that concept, right? 10 days, right? Now, why would somebody pay this kind of money? It's because they're going to get results when they put it up on TikTok or whatever, or Instagram Reels or YouTube posts, right? So with AI, what we were able to do, we were able to do hundreds of these, right? So then really, wouldn't you agree with me? Like if I accept the fact that if I can do something that of this value and I can do it on an automated basis, let's even leave aside that we can do it for clients and all this other stuff. It's like, it simplifies the idea of getting my product or service and awareness out there, right? So think of it this way, right? Like when I was, getting started in the early days with Google and search, like I'll give you an example. Okay, so if you had to search for a local lawyer or local dentist or local, chiropractor or whatever, right? It used to be in 2005. This was about 80 cents to $1 roughly per click. So when somebody clicked on an ad, right? Like they go to lawyer near me or something like that, right? Like they go into like I'll show you. Like if they go into Google and they say lawyer near me or something, right? Like we go in here, and then you see here, you see these like whatever, these law firms right here. It used to cost you like about $2 per click in 2005. Now it's like $8, $9, depending on where it is. So the point I'm making is like if I go into this person's website, right? And just for that click, these people are willing to pay $10 or so to get the reach. You get my point? So then what I'm trying to explain is if that could be done from a video where somebody clicks and goes and visits the website and it's free, the edge you have is ridiculous, right? Because 100 views for this to get to this page, 100 people coming in, they're spending $800, let's say, right? Now you got the same thing for free from social media. That's $800 they don't have to spend. That gives a huge edge for any business, whether it's web design or like your local store or whatever, right? E-commerce or whatever you can imagine. So putting this in perspective, that's what I want to drive home this point where like when we talk about video creation, right? Like we're talking about talking photos and which is coming up soon, right? We're talking about AI videos and stuff, right? Like the point I'm making is don't worry too much about the views. And when you can create these and you can create these projects and you can do as many as you want, right? You can simplify the thought process here where if you create 100 of these and each got 2 views, even 200 people watched it, right? And if one person ended up buying something, it still didn't take you much time, right? As a dollar value. And the gold rush right now, I'm saying, is people cannot tell the difference. Like these platforms cannot tell the difference. They want more content. In fact, TikTok recently, I don't know if I can pull that up for you folks. A lot of people ask us, well, what about AI content? Well, TikTok is actually advertising AI avatars right now for their advertising. So I'll show you this. You guys will understand. I'll show you this. As of June 2024, see this, okay? Meet Symphony Avatars, TikTok's new creative AI tool, okay? So people always talk about, well, Paul, like, AI means that TikTok will not like it or YouTube will like. I mean, they're actually advertising it. They want to make money from this because they know if you can go to Fiverr.com and spend $400, or if you get it from TikTok for free, that $400 you'll spend in advertising with them. You see what I'm saying? So you can accept the reality for what it is, right? And they themselves push it. You see this? Research has proven that creating TikTok first ads boosts purchase intent by 37%, right? For any brand, right? And so there's like create with Symphony avatars or whatever, stock avatars, custom avatars, stuff which we are doing. You see these AI video stuff? And that's the goal, right? That's what we're aiming for. So what their thing is, what they're going to do is they're saying, okay, you build these, you pay us money, and then you advertise it on our platform. So what I'm saying is let's look at it from this perspective. You can either advertise, spend $100 a day, $500 a day, $1,000 a day, right? Or you can do the same thing for free. How does it make a difference? Because they themselves are pushing AI avatars. See what I'm saying? So just understand, guys, like when you talk about this is the gold rush we're talking about. In a year, 2 years, what's going to happen is like there's going to be so much flooding of stuff happening. Everything will look the same that people will get jaded. They'll be like, give me the junk webcam, low quality video because I trust it more than this polished video because I cannot tell the difference. You see? So that is the big thing I wanted to mention. And the other thing I wanted to mention, guys, very important, okay, where we are headed, okay? So if you look at Video Express, right, guys, you start off with the frame or the image, right? So I go into my projects really quickly. Let me show you here. Okay. Or we go into my library here. I'll show you my images. Yeah. So you see these, right? So what I wanted to kind of explain, guys, is why did we do it this way? I put it in future proofing in mind, where if you can generate the frame or the image, when it converts to a video, you have a lot more control over it. You see what I'm saying? Like if you say, I want you to create brown clouds and like red sun and then put like a person walking in that or whatever, the text you're gonna have to write paragraphs, but if it's an image, it is much more easy to convert that into a video. So where we are going, and a lot of our like I'm investing a ton of money on this, is how do we make this image into a really, really professional looking video, whether it's a person, whether it's an object, whether it is a an animal like this rabbit here, right? This lion, whatever it might be. How can you tell stories as a starting point with an image, right? And that will give you more control, right? You see what I'm saying? Like because this text and then you put that text into a video, that means nothing, right? Like at the end of the day, because you'll have to keep rewriting that text and you got to keep getting it to the way you want. And also the other problem, guys, is to generate a video, right? In behind the scenes, there's a lot of infrastructure that goes into it. So let's say a 15-second video could take behind the scenes for us to have 5 servers or these NVIDIA servers running, and could take us like whatever 15 minutes or whatever. You do this takes 3 seconds or 2 seconds, so you can keep manipulating it a lot more, right? So that's what I kind of wanted to tell you, where the future will be image and then image to video. Let me be very clear. So those who want to this is another big thing, right? So we're talking about TikTok or talking about YouTube Shorts and stuff. I just wanted you guys to know and gals to know, focus your effort on image to video because that's the future. I'm telling you, because I know a lot of the big research houses and big companies out there, they will be getting into this because of the control that you will get from it, right? And so if the image is the case, then what you want to focus on is the storytelling aspect, which is what we're talking about, the script writing, the scenes and stuff, right? You want to, and another thing a lot of folks ask, this rabbit, can it talk? So we're focusing on that. That will be coming up for talking photos for sure. With this rabbit can talk, for example, right? So that was a big requested feature. So I hear you, no other application could do it. So we invested time on that. So now what happens is you could put one rabbit and then you had another scene and another scene. It simplifies the workflow and goes from there. Now, I'm talking too much, I understand, but I hope people understand before I move on to the other folks here, right? So let me cut this thing here. So let's bring everybody in here again. Let me see this. Okay, so who's next? Let's talk about. Okay, Joshua, go ahead.
All right. Well, I just want to start off with I'm honored to be here. So thanks for allowing me to be here. Yash, thank you for putting interest in my videos and inviting me here. You guys have been following you for over the last 10 years. I think Avatar Builder might have been the first one I bought. So I'm really into videos. I'm I'm getting pretty decent at it. But before I got sick, I had a couple clients. When I was off the grid for a little bit, I wasn't in front of my computer for 6 months, so I lost those clients. Now it's like I lost my mojo. I don't to try to get more clients. I'm okay with making videos, and I'm okay getting better being on camera, but it's just getting those clients in the door. The ones I had before, they came to me on like LinkedIn and Facebook, and they see my work and said, "Hey, can you do this for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." But that hasn't worked out like that. So now I'm trying to move towards maybe doing these TikTok or these shorts. I'm getting pretty decent at it. I only have like maybe up to 600 views for each one, which it's not great, but it's not terrible either. Just starting off, and then I made a video for my trailer video for my channel, saying, "Hey, you guys might have recognized the videos I made, Yash seen it," and I say, "Hey, at the same time, maybe I can help you guys do the same thing." So I'm kind of like building my brand that way. I'd shoot out a couple shorts, then for my trailer video, but hey, I can also do this for you guys. So if you guys would like to make videos like this, reach out to me. So that's kind of where I am right now. But yeah, I'd really like to. I mean, because I'm good at doing social media and stuff like that. It's just getting the clients to trust me and to do it for them and reaching out to them is just where I'm stuck at right now.
All right,
So
cool, cool. Yeah. So let's discuss this, right? So this
I
is
can hardly hear you. Your volume's down.
okay. Just give me a sec here. All right. Can you hear me now? Yash, can you hear me? Or good? No.
Yeah.
No, actually, your voice is a little low.
Okay, okay. Oh yeah, you go ahead, Yash. You talk. You have your points. I'll
Yep.
just reset my mic here. Just give me a second.
Cool. Awesome. No problem. Yep. So Joshua, as everyone can hear me properly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So 100%. The approach, I actually analyzed your channel. I did. I mentioned. I saw that first of all, the way you were creating those videos with the guy sitting on the, like, just like a real lifestyle where it's putting on the hand on the desk and stuff like that. Those are exactly kind of videos that works for the long form. I'll be anyways doing a tutorial for that, but that's, you're on the right direction, right? What I would suggest you is, let clients come to you rather reaching out to them. There's always the best strategy. Okay, so just like you and just like us, we're all kind of, figuring out what to do, how to create animated videos and stuff like that, right? So now, what I suggest to you is just the approach that you are taking, where you're gonna help people create AI videos for their channel, figure out one offer, okay, like offer creation, right? So, for example, what you could do is you could make an offer, let's say a 7.99 a month offer, where if somebody is interested in creating their faceless YouTube channel, completely automated, where you shoot the videos, not gonna shoot them, but you create the scripting, the editing, you can market through your channel like that, and that's gonna take you forward, because now you think you can now link as your affiliate thing with your software. Like if you want them, now there you have two benefits. If people say that, okay, we don't want to, we don't want to create we don't want you to create the videos, well, you can say, okay, this you you see all those tools out there, they're pretty expensive and stuff like that. You can then say like, okay, you can try this. Here's my link and stuff like that, or I can do it for you for a monthly retainer. That's how you can log these guys. And talking about reaching to them, that's a big part. Okay, like how you gonna, so the number one strategy, the number one mistake I did, is reaching to the clients, right? Because they will always have the upper hand, specifically in these kind of niche, right?
Mhm.
Like you have to do, like, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm saying the rate of success and the rate of speed is very low. That
Yeah,
demotivates
and I'll share my
demotivated.
screen real quick while you're talking, Yash, about his videos. So
Your
Josh is
volume's
actually,
still low.
yeah.
I just want to
So
say
can,
one more thing.
yeah.
My channel before I started these shorts, I've already had over 1,000 subscribers. But I'm still short
You're
on my
okay. So Paul shared his screen. So this is Joshua's. Yep.
yeah, yeah, and I'm still short on my I got my subscribers, but I need my views or whatever. I'm short on that. So instead of starting over a channel, I just stuck with this one because I'm already half monetized. You know what I mean? So I didn't see no point of starting a channel brand new when I already have my subscribers. So yeah, I mean, was that a good, I mean, route to take, or should I really start a channel over? Because I really don't want to start my channel over. I already have
Oh
my
no, definite. Okay, perfect. Paul, you want to add or should I? You want to say something?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
a
Yeah,
little
your
better.
voice.
Your voice is like really low.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, can you hear me though, or
We
is
can
it?
hear you. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have to turn my volume up a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool, cool. No worries. It's all good. So let me adjust this real quick, real quick. Yeah. So one thing I wanted to add. So let's do this here, one sec. All right. So, all right. So what I would suggest, right? So personally, is I see the videos here, right? It's
Hmm.
like their storytelling is there. Yeah, I get it. Now, what I would actually do is again go back to the ideal customer avatar concept, right? Who are you trying to create the videos for and what purpose, right? So the thing is, again, it all depends on the end goal here, right? So did you think about that, Joshua? Like who
No, right
you?
now I was just trying to get views, to get eyeballs on my channel. I really didn't have an ideal customers. I was just trying to think of creative motivation quotes because the video training that you guys had before, they were motivation quotes and they had all kinds of views. So I figured, hey, I'll go that route. And I'm pretty good at coming up with scripts. I'm pretty good at chatting my prompts and Miss Chat, Mr. or whatever. I can come up with some pretty decent scripts. So yeah, I wasn't trying to. I didn't have an ideal customer I was reaching out to, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. So we want to always start off with that, okay? This is good. I see what you're doing. Great. Like I see your videos here, right? So the only thing that you're missing here is you have the approach, right? Like this is a perfect video. Now, what can I do and what market can I reach would be the question here, right? So now even let's look at it in a simpler term, right? If I turn this video, let's say, and say I created this video. Let me like this video was created with AI. Here's what I used. This is Video Express, and you just put an affiliate link for Video Express alone. That's an ideal customer now. You see,
Okay.
like somebody would buy it, right? Because they're like, oh, okay, I want to see it, and YouTube will feed that user who's interested in AI videos in
So
particular.
what I use that as a title?
Yeah, yeah. Show him that example. I don't know if you have that screen. Like you know how we created that. This video was created with AI. That hook.
Yeah, where do you
Um,
put that? That's what I'd like to know also.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure. He'll share that
Yep. I
if
don't
you
have
can.
that. One second. Yeah. So basically, yep. 1 minute. Yeah, so basically what you would do is you would do that in your title. So just like how you upload the video on
Title.
your on YouTube, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there it asks you for the title, right? So that's where you add like this video was created with AI. So let me just share that with you. So 1 second. We actually did this and we got like 70,000 views. Paul, you're talking about that, right?
Yes, that one.
But with the but you said that you can't leave a link in the description on shorts though, without being monetized though, didn't you?
So that's the thing. You want to get monetized first, right?
Right.
So you have.
That's
It's
what my
like this,
goal
right?
was.
So
That's
so
why I
it's
really
like
didn't
this.
have an
Yeah, yeah,
outreach.
yeah. Absolutely, 100%. So it's like this, right? Like you have to crawl before you walk. That's your edge too. Somebody might say, well, that's unfair. Well, but it's harder for new people to come and get it, right? So the idea is that if you do that, it'll give you that edge. And similarly, the same concept. And what I'm looking for ideas, okay, guys, is
I
same thing.
shared with you. You can show on the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Just give me a sec. Let me cut this out here.
I think you can leave a link in your YouTube description if you verify the account.
Yep. For the long
Yes,
form videos, you
for long
can
form
do that.
videos, not for
Oh, just
shorts
for
at
long
this point.
form, not for
Yeah.
not for any video.
Yeah,
No.
because your in shorts, your description does not appear, because it basically your title takes away your description. You
Oh,
see, because imagine for a long form video, for me, okay, I'll just show you real quick.
I
For a
didn't know
long form video, your title appears and your description appears, but for a short, your title appears and your comment appears. That is why it's always wiser to put the link in the comments or tell people to look in the comments rather than in the description for the
that.
shorts. For the
No.
shorts. For the longs,
That makes
for the long form video, like a horizontal style video, you do it double. You put in the description, right? And exactly as Paul said, right, is basically as you'll see people, as you'll see people that like you made with AI and stuff like that. So I mean, people see and people will react, right? Like Joshua, just like how people are saying that, okay, that how did you create it and all that. So you can kind of create a short, like what you're doing in the way where the guy is sitting on the deck. That's a perfect
Yeah, I did
example,
that.
right?
I made a short exactly the same way with a guy sitting at the desk. So I made a short one, and then I
Exactly.
made
And
both.
now in
I
the
made both
title,
formats. So
yeah, in the title, what you say is this, right? This video or animation, 3D animation step by step tutorial, a full course on that. And then you can just go on just about it, and then you can mention people about your affiliate link, number one. Number two, you can ask them to contact you for a done for you services, so that's how you're gonna reach, because that's a higher demand. Because think of it like this, right? Like every brand now would want, let's say if it is not if it is not for example AI, right? They would want it to be in their tone, in their speak. So
Yeah, I just want to show you this example. Okay, this was done like for an audience. Just want to show you this. You see this title here? This new AI technology turns text into AI human video. Simple. This new AI technology turns it. Or like if you go into even Google and you search it'll always be how to, or it will be how I, or whatever, right? So if it is going to be something that you're trying to show, it will always be in that angle. So you'll just, the way we do it and the way I do it is because trends keep changing all the time. So let's say if I wanted to create a video on text to video, let's say, right, as an example, right? So if I just put text to video, let's just show you here. Right. Okay, this is basically an ad. The first one, we don't want an ad. Let's just look at this one, right? You see this best free AI video, better than blah blah blah, right? This, remember I told you this, right? Better than or us versus them. This is the reason why these things work, right? Because people are searching for this. 8,000, very good. Not a million views because you see this. Start here. This link is their affiliate link, right? Goes to this offer that they have, and these 8,000 people are interested in this topic to begin with. It's a lot more powerful, right? Similarly, if I go back one sec, you go in here, you see best three, right? But what I wanted to actually show you, I'm always looking for like ideas, right? See, this is the best AI video is out and free, right? This is another one. These are the shorts. How to use text to video AI. You see this one right here? Simple. How to use, right? Text to video AI. That's it. So we are noticing this kind of stuff is doing really well when it's trying to demonstrate something. So in your case, Joshua, right? Like simple, right? Like AI made this video, see how. That's it. Because people don't have that much space on their phone, right, to go read paragraphs. So I want to focus on that. So similarly, if let's say it is to do with something to do with your services or agency, right? Whatever. It could be like how I build a WordPress page in 5 minutes, right? That's it. Or how to blah 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 in this. It's simple, like how you would a conversational, right? Like you go to your friends and they're like, "What do you do?" Well, I build WordPress websites. In just 5 minutes, I do it. Whatever, right? We just explain it in more casual terms. So this is what I'm looking for. So you see, Captions made easy. CapCut tutorial. Simple. No nonsense. No magic. Wordings these days. This is clicking. See, 109 likes, right? If I go down here, this one is kind of weird, but like this one, AI text to video. That's it. No, nothing else. And then the thing, make your videos more interesting with AI. See how simple the text is. Nothing really
That's the
fancy.
subtitle
Okay,
if you want.
Yeah.
I got a quick question. How
Yeah.
did
Go ahead.
go back up to the last video? Right, yeah. Now,
This one.
yeah, with the girl
This one.
down. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
How do you put that text right there? I mean, I know you can.
Oh, this is the in
I
Video
know
Express we
this.
have it right in the caption. So I'll show you. So
I
when you
know the
create,
caption you can do it,
uh-huh.
but go ahead.
This is called word level highlighting. Okay, so we have that. I'll show you. It's a good question, by the way. So
No,
you see
I know
here.
how to do that, but
Uh-huh.
how do you put text on top
Let
of
me
the
see. Let me
screen the
see.
way she had?
Let me see. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, go back here. Which
I know how
text?
to. Yeah, I know how to do
Where? Here,
caption.
the stop part.
Yes.
Oh, that's easy. Like you can just put it in Video Express. Yeah, that's super easy. So we
You
go in
do?
here. You don't even need captions for that. So like let's hypothetically say I'll just open up a project or whatever videos here. Let's go to my videos here. One sec.
Yeah,
Let's see.
because I'm always trying to figure that out. Because I mean, I knew
Okay,
we had
cool.
the text animations, but
Yeah. So
I
we
didn't want to do
go.
it that way.
Cool. No worries. So let's see here. Okay, so let's hypothetically say this is the video, right? This is the video, right? So I got like vertical, right? Well, let me change the aspect ratio first. So yes, this one. Okay, so we go in here. You see the text animations tab here on the right? You see this?
Yes.
So in you have that option here to use this. This is obviously you're familiar with this, right? So you
Right.
can drag and drop this and you put this right here.
Yeah, that's
Now,
what I don't like.
there's also you go to filters, right? You see titles here. You can do this
Right.
too. So you put this titles here, and then let me show you. You go like edit, and then here the text. You see, you can play
Okay.
around with this, and also the titles also has the option. I'll show you. Go to properties. Let's see. Go edit. Yeah, you see here. You can do the paintbrush effect, and like you can put rectangles here like
Oh,
so, and you
all
can play
right. So
around with the
that gives
text
it the
here.
background right there. All right.
Yeah.
I knew we had
Just
the text part, but I didn't know how we did.
yeah, you can play around here. You see?
Another
Go
quick
ahead.
question while we're
Uh huh.
here. I can't face swap on mine. People said, well, you got to have a human
Yeah,
face.
so this is the thing for face swap. What we suggest, the way the algorithm works, just so you know, the AI works, is it's
Uh,
been trained on human faces, right? So a
all right.
cartoon one like this, the technology doesn't exist right now, which can face swap a cartoon. The way we do it is using similarity attributes. Okay, so very good question too. Again, so how you would do it? So let's say you go to media library. I'll just show you an example here. Let's go to my videos. So for example, right? So if you see here, this is a cartoon one, right? So
All right.
here, if you wanted to recreate this, you see this cute 3D character, whatever, I would just change this one element, like thumbs up, instead of that, it'll say working or whatever. And then we use reuse character. To a large extent, it is close to the original. Slightly sometimes could be different, but as I said, like the AI, we are working on a new system for VDX, as I told you, version 2.0, where even for the 3D character, when you click that reuse, it'll be quite similar. But the way, as I mentioned before, is like if it is realistic, like this is realistic. Well, let me show you here. This is realistic. Oh, well, this is cartoon. Wait, let me go here. This one. This one's realistic, right? Let me show you here. This is realistic. This girl is realistic as well. In these cases, face swap will work perfect because it's trained on real faces. You put your face, it will work. The
But
problem is when it's a cartoon one, how do you create a cartoon face swap, right? Because it's a human one. So the way we've sorted it, behind the scenes, what we do is when you go in here, I'll show you. Let's open some.
But it seems like that option doesn't even pop up for me, even if I have a real picture.
Let me show
Face
you.
swap never
Oh,
pops up.
really? Then it should show
Yes.
up. If it's a real picture, it should. So when you go in here, I'll show you. Let's just create one, right? Let's just put human here. Realistic man suited with a blue tie, right? Okay. Looking straight at the camera. I'm just making up something real quick. One second. All right, so just click generate. All right, right? So we have it here. So like in cases like this, once it generates, you see this where it says reuse same character, right? Like just
Right.
click on this. Here you see face swap opens up. It should show up like that. Then you click on face swap, and then you can take any photo from your
Right.
library
Okay.
that you uploaded. All right, go to my images, my AI images, whatever. You can use an existing one too, and then you can start the face swap process. Does that make
Another
sense?
problem I was having uploading videos, and they wouldn't match the format. They said it's got to be this certain size, 9.16 or
Yeah, so
whatever.
this the way I would suggest this one is again like I told you with the AI system, the way we do it 16 by 9 is like anything which is vertical in nature, like 1920 by 1080, 720p, that kind of thing. So in vertical as well as 9 by 16. So the only other one is 1:1, right? That's the Instagram reel. We do have that option. The only problem with that one is our AI video part, which just converts that image to video, is not working that well with 1:1
Right.
formats. That's why
So
what we suggest is you resize it in your uploading, or alternatively, what you
what
can
would
do when
that be
you're
in a picture size though?
I'm sorry.
What would that be in a picture size?
So you can just do like I'll show you. In picture size will be 1920 by 1080p, highest quality, and then you can go down based on that
Okay.
aspect ratio wise.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank you.
So this one, I'll put it in the screen. 1920 by 1080, full HD we like to call it, right? So that's what's called 1080p. So this is the minimum, and then you can go down along with it. So if you go 720p is also fine, right? What is 720p right now? Resolution, same concept. I
So
believe it
what
is
about
1280 by 720. That's
what?
also fine.
Okay, the
That's
picture.
what we like to call
That's what I
16 by
meant.
9.
That's what I meant. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah. Anybody else? Let's run through you so it's just we're fair to everybody who's here. And then Yash, you can also answer some questions as we go along, because that way you had some stuff prepared as well, right? So. Okay, Steve, go ahead.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Yash. Hey, everybody. I've been using your products, Paul, especially Video Express, to produce branding videos for my marketing agency. And, it works really well. 1 minute landscape videos. And I'm pushing them out using programmatic campaigns. So I'm really enthused by how that's working and how good the technology is. On a personal project on the side, in the shorts arena, I put up a new YouTube channel, and I've started publishing some 1 minute shorts that I guess you could call it in the self-improvement niche, not so much motivational, but just self-improvement. And I've been posting a couple of those shorts every day, but I don't seem to be getting the views and the traction that I really wanted to get. But the intent is to eventually monetize the channel. So I'm wondering what tips you can give me and the rest of us to help that process along. I put some keyword SEO kind of stuff into each of the videos in the channel, but it doesn't really seem to be helping. And maybe it's just too soon. I don't know. I just started putting these shorts out there within the last several days. So
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of jump in, and then Yash, you can add in as well. So
Great.
Steve, so what you want to do is you're gonna cut the fluff, okay, in your videos. So even if it's only 15, 25 seconds long, it should like blah blah blah, right? Like this is how you do it. This is what we want you to do. This is why this thing is better. This is what, like, say for example, in your case, let's say it is motivational or self-help, right? What are people like? Law of attraction, let's say. Why law of attraction is powerful, instead of going like before what we would do, right, in our videos. Oh, there's a story, then there is a
Well,
like a starting point, right?
let
So
me jump in just for a second. I'm actually anthologizing a series of books, um, non-fictional books that were written a few years ago. So each of the shorts is a talking video or a talking image of two people having a conversation back and forth. So it's not a preachy kind of video or anything like
Okay.
that.
So it's in personal development, right?
Well, yes,
Okay. Can I
self-discovery.
suggest to you what this, because I am kind of familiar with this market. All right. So I want you to study this particular channel, okay? And again, understand the market, right? There's two types always, right? One is somebody who's new, they're interested, and that's the mass market, right? Somebody's
Yeah.
dabbling with something, and then one is like, oh, going deep, right? Like, for example, somebody's interested in weight loss, somebody's obsessed about ketogenic diet. You see what I'm saying? So, in personal development, when you're trying to go for views, this is the channel you can follow. Hopefully, I can show it to you. And I'll show you what the hooks are here, okay? Understand, okay? So this guy, watch this guy right here. I think something like that. So let me share.
Yep. So basically, as you can see,
Yeah, yeah, show that.
yeah, yeah. So as Paul is mentioning, quasi zo here. Paul, can you go to the shorts thing? Like, and go to the like most popular one. You'll see the thing. Like how he's talking about like basically. Just 1 second. The topic, the mass market topic. Shut off your conscious and let your subconscious mind talk about what is the mirror principle. And by the way, Steve, I actually checked your channel. Here absolutely, from what I see, where is the improvement can be on your channel. Two ways. Okay. You're doing a fabulous job at SEO, title, and your videos are good. But the content that Paul is showing, right, the topic and the person who is doing it, I think if you change that, you're gonna blow up, right? So, for example, I've seen that there are some life tips and stuff like that. Paul, if you can show, like, you probably have seen those
I wanted to
videos like
actually show
Stoic.
this aspect, right, Yash?
Yeah.
So then we'll go to the shorts as well. Check this here, right? I meditated like this for 40 days. This is what happened, right? When you speak like this, God answers. Once you fully surrender, the shift happens. And then look at this. Once you breathe like this, God reveals Himself, right? Once you unlock this, reality is yours, right? I changed my brain, the shift happened overnight, right? Then they look at this one. This becomes available once every 100 years. Take advantage, right? And then 2,000-year-old book reveals, right? The true teaching of Jesus, right? 33-degree knowledge. This was taught only to us. Like, look at the difference here, okay? Again, what I kind of wanted to show you folks is this one was 10,000. Once I learned these 7 lessons, my reality shifted completely. But 33-degree knowledge, this was taught only to a select few. 3.1 million views. This is what I was trying to get across to you, okay? This is the mass market. Like, what is this 33-degree knowledge? Like, curiosity. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I were to create a video, I have to delve into these aspects, right? Because people, when you look at the mass market, right, they're like, and look at the thumbnail too, they knew. You see this? And you don't even know who those guys are, like the founding fathers. What are they? Right? We don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is this is the curiosity you want to elicit if you're trying to get. And this is just one example, but I'm trying to explain to you. You see this? Like the same thing, 10,000 views, right? Where once I learned these 7 lessons, nobody cares, right? And look at this. The truth about humanity lies in this tablet, right? So you're writing a book right now, right, Steve? So you understand what I'm talking about. When you're like trying to create a book, like you could write the best book, but people are gonna want to have curiosity, right? Like they have to be like, okay, there's something interesting or unique or secretive, whatever. If you saw the movie The Secret, I mean, it was law of attraction, but they were like, there was this hidden thing, and they've been hidden from us for like centuries, and now it's been revealed itself. You get the point, right? So so there's two types of audiences always, folks. Okay, I want you to understand. You want to go mass market, The mass market will always want curiosity based. The specialized market will actually want specifics, right? Like this is specifics. Once I learned these seven lessons, my reality shifted. So these 10,000 people who watch this probably are more focused, and there are probably going to be somebody who will end up buying more than even this 3.1 million. But with this 3.1 million, now you can get monetized, for example, or you're going to be able to do other things, right? Does that answer your question, Steve? You see what I'm talking about? You got to structure your videos like this: 33-degree knowledge. Like, look at this. The truth about humanity lies in this tablet. I mean, like, it's curiosity, right? And people will actually click and open this thing. Otherwise, what's like, you're kind of like trying to attract an audience with, it's tough because the market is so saturated, like so much other content, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Well,
And
yes, I think so. And maybe I'm getting blinded by the SEO aspects of it. I know enough SEO just to be dangerous, and looking at those titles, they're are they keyword sensitive? Does that matter?
No. So understand when it's shorts in particular, or even videos these days, it's all about reach of that thing. So for example, if I am in my mobile device, which is majority of the people, right? Like
Mhm.
you don't have that much real estate to go and like even this right here, I only probably could read 33-degree knowledge. This was taught only. Probably I couldn't even see the select few, right?
About
So
55 characters worth.
yeah, that's why we write it short, as sweet as possible, but we elicit curiosity. And then when they click the video, right, it tries to kind of go in depth on this to create that mystique, that curiosity. It's like you have to understand that, like, if you want a mass market audience, they are bored every day. Like we like to call, like, 90% of any marketplace, people are just, you know, like in a daze, right? They're walking in a daze. Like I remember my mentor, one of the early days, like everybody's walking through the daze, right? And you have to wake them up, right? This kind of stuff wakes them up. Your average everyday people. It's just pure, in terms of marketing skills, you want to talk about it. Like imagine, I'll give you an example. You go to the street, you saw your friend, your high school friend you haven't met for, like, I don't know, or your college friend, or somebody you never met for 2 years, right? You're walking on the street, you say, hey, and you look at them and you say, hey, and then sometimes they're not even listening, or even if they see, they're not paying attention and they walk away, right? That is what I'm talking about. People live in a daze. That's the same thing in scrolling when their phone. That's the same thing when they're watching something. You gotta wake them up. You gotta elicit curiosity. In video, especially for this type of a market, which is very saturated. Like if I was to go to a market which is very specialized, say organic farming, or a specialized market could be, for example, somebody's only interested in land development, let's say, as I mentioned before, that kind of thing. It will be to the point. But if it's a market like this, which has a lot of history to it, like 200, 300-year history, you want to go more for curiosity, okay? And in terms of SEO, don't worry about SEO. Worry so much about curiosity more so. And the same thing applies for your book as well, right? Like your first 5 pages better be about, like, okay, why they should be reading it, what's the secret, right? Like I remember one of the greatest copywriters of all time. Copywriting meaning like the greatest advertisers. I want to kind of show you what he wrote. He wrote a book, okay, and I'll show you the concept of it so you'll understand, okay? It was called Pandora's Prescription. It was not a bestseller, but I'll show you. This was the book, okay? This was one of the greatest copywriters of all time. He wrote this book because he was passionate about writing. I just wanted to kind of show you something here. Let me see if I can find the description of this thing real quick here. Okay, this is the author. Okay, let's just find the book itself. Yeah, let's go find this here. Okay, anyway, the back of the book I want to show you because it's just incredible. Yeah, this one. Here, synopsis, right? Check this. The pharmaceutical giants have a big skeleton in their closet and will fight tooth and nail to keep it there. Author Dan Travis, a notorious unsolved mystery specialist, is on another book tour when a cryptic message from a desperate stranger blows his life apart. Right? He's sucked into a silent war which hinges on an incriminating data file. Finding it is Travis's only hope for surviving a deadly chase across America. Right? But to find its location, Travis must discover the link between the biggest medical cover-up in history. You see this? This is the type of stuff that elicits that first page to open up the book and read, right? Now,
It's a
when you talk
great
about
story.
like these kind of topics, you on the casual audience that are picking up the book, like they're like, whoa, what is this biggest medical cover up in history? What is the secret underground of doctors sworn to the ancient oath? You see this? So this is what I'm trying to explain. I mean, it sounds kind of weird and kind of silly, but you gotta understand. You want a mass market thing. Somebody has to be like, they should think, what is this? What is that? 33-degree knowledge. What is that? What is this secret underground thing? What is this? Basically, the biggest medical cover up or whatever. What is this big skeleton in their closet? You see what I'm talking about? So when you're trying to create videos in topics like this, which are very saturated, very competitive, you have to wake people up, and this is what we're looking at more so. And you can use this, like you can save this book. You can make a note of this. I mean, I wouldn't even buy it, but the point I'm talking about is the writing, the way it's structured, the synopsis, right? And also same thing with that other YouTube channel I gave you, right? Like just now, you want to study that too, because the idea is understand that if you get the audience, one video, you now got the formula, right? Just use that same video and say, okay, Mistral or whatever, ChatGPT, whatever AI thing, which would it rewrite this with a different way, right? Like a different problem that you're solving, or a different storyline talking about the same concepts, right? So I would do it this way. Back in the day, I'll give you an example. Back when that 2012 Mayan apocalypse, there's a lot of interest in that. I basically was running advertising for as an affiliate for a product, which was about how to survive the coming apocalypse or something. It's just kind of for fun. I wanted to do it just to see if it will click. And same thing we've done at that point, which was okay. If I just wrote a survival book, right? Like how do you do camping or outdoors wilderness survival, or like how do you store food, right? That is one thing. But if I link it to the coming Mayan apocalypse, right? Now there's some that curiosity there, right? So this I'm trying to explain to you how normal 90, like for us, you folks are all into marketing. You guys have been in our community for a while. I mean, it sounds silly, but the way you have to look at it is most people are in a daze. They gotta wake up, right? You gotta wake them up with your content in saturated industries. If it is an industry which is like new and exciting, it's how to, straight to the point, get to it, right? You do it that way. That could be something like how to create AI videos. Very new topic. People just want to know. They want to understand. So let's say a topic like specialized, right? Land development. Go to the point. People just want the information. They're done. But in big industries like personal development, self-help, weight loss, wake them up, right? Like there's a conspiracy that is the reason why you see the ketogenic diet stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about, like in the
Yes.
weight loss space. Like there's a conspiracy on sugar, like people have like 99% of all supermarkets have sugar. There is a conspiracy by all the biggest companies and food manufacturers to get you addicted to sugar. That's why you will everybody is not in shape or whatever, right? The point is they could have just said, look, carbs overall are not good for you. Keto, which is more fat oriented, will help you a little bit more burn fat, whatever, faster and be healthy or whatever, like get into ketosis. But people don't care. They're like, well, I don't want to learn all the mumbo jumbo, right? I just want the secret, right? So that's how these competitive markets you want to structure. So in your, to answer your question, don't worry too much about the, if you will, keywords. Focus more on that hidden secret or that
Gotcha.
which we want to talk about. Okay.
Great tips. Thank you, Paul. Thanks, Yash.
No problem. Yeah. Who else? Who wants to raise their hand? Let's see here. Next. Anybody? Yes, you want to add them in if you want to maybe unmute them if they want to get in.
Yep. Actually, I think Craig, do you have? I think Craig raised his hand.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
Craig, go
I
ahead.
did.
Tell us about yourself a little
Hi.
bit, and like
Yeah,
what
hi
are you
everyone.
working on?
Basically, I probably come from a more technical background in IT and accounting, um, and eventually I sort of like ended up working for a finance brokerage in Australia, which now I'm basically a part owner. So I actually do the IT background, and also since COVID hit, I took over doing all the marketing and all that type of stuff. Basically, of course, in the finance space in Australia, where we can only be. Um, COVID basically decimated the industry, so it's been a long struggle. So we shrunk back down to being quite small and basically just keeping it going because things will turn around eventually. So so I use Pulse Tools, Human Power, and now Video Express to make videos for YouTube, Facebook, and all that. So for business purposes. But um, 2 weeks ago, I started another channel under my own name, and I've basically been not targeting any really one niche. I've just been experimenting, just basically throwing mud at the wall. Um, and some videos probably lucky to get up to 500 in 400 to 500 range so far. But I have taken up Yash's idea of converting stuff into different languages, and then and that has been really interesting because even instead of English, it might be Vietnamese or Thai or Japanese or Spanish for Latin American market, and just try putting different things up at different times.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So,
So
Craig, just real
the idea
quick.
at the moment is probably just to try and get monetized, as everyone's been saying.
Yeah, so now you mentioned you're more technical. So what I would suggest somebody who's more technical in nature is to utilize your strengths, right? So there's a concept that which is very important these days is you need to strengthen your strengths, not to strengthen your weaknesses. Does that make sense? So meaning what you're already good
Yep.
at, you want to be the best at it rather than try to cover the weaknesses, okay? So in other words, if somebody's already technical, then what I would do is utilize that as an asset rather than not mention it kind of thing, right? So in terms of you in particular, you would do really well focusing on topics like AI, right? Talking about how in terms of, let's say you were doing something else technical in nature, how that would help your industry, right, move forward. Say somebody, I'll give you an example, right? One of the things that we saw recently, for example, in the data center space, right? There's a huge demand for something called liquid cooling, right? It's more technical in nature, but I'm just trying to explain. So before, if you have a data center, you have all these servers, racks, and stuff, right? So like to put it in perspective, let's actually show you folks this thing so you can visually understand, right? So data center racks, okay. Oops. All right. So data center racks. Okay. So like back in the day, you'll have a data center with all these bunch of racks, right? Like this would be a perfect example, this particular image. And then what happens is you have electricity going through all that. Now what's happening is all these data centers, they were done for these Intel AMD CPUs, not for the NVIDIA graphic processing units. In other words, like these servers that were there just 5 years ago, they were consuming, say in this particular case, 100 kilowatt per rack. Now you need like 10 times that, right, per rack for these AI servers, right? So one of the things right now that's a huge thing, I'm just saying technical because it'll give you some ideas for you, is liquid cooling. So meaning what you do is you run a bunch of water into these things with proper wiring, and now it'll consume lesser power, and also it will not get heated up, and then you'll have fire in the data center or whatever. A very important topic for a lot of people. A lot of people are interested in this topic. A lot of people are, like spending, like I'm talking about sophisticated people, right? 5,000 views in a market like that means a lot. You could get clients to consult with, you could get traffic to web page or whatever it might be in that particular topic. So similarly, if you're technically in nature, whatever industry you were in before, I would talk about like that, those topics, but make it to the point and solve a specific thing that you can add to, okay? So in other words, if you're already good at something, you've already done something, your expertise and your knowledge, a lot of people want to know. It's just that how you package it, right? Like how do you make it more interesting and stuff like that. So this is one example. Like I'll show you this concept. I'll show you. So it's, I believe I can do it. Direct liquid cooling is the point. Let me show you this. Yeah, so you see this like 2,700 views, or 4,600 views. This one like your future of liquid cooling, whatever, 8,000, 22,000. Not many views. This is what I was trying to tell Steve. When you're talking about personal development, you're talking about a mass market, everybody. This is a very specialized thing. In the whole world, there might be like only, I don't know, 200,000 people maybe, or 100,000 people interested in this topic, right? And you're getting that, but it's very targeted because every video, like even the 611 views, means something. It has value for these markets. So understand that. So when we say shorts, like if you go into shorts here, let me show you, right? Yeah, here. You see this? You see this. Chill Dine provides direct to chip liquid cooling that never leaks thanks to negative pressure. I mean, for somebody who has no knowledge about what this means, it means nothing. But for somebody who understands this, it has a lot of value and you become the expert in that, right? And this one right here, never liquid cool again, 2.5 million views. Why? It's because it's simple, straightforward, and talking about a very big topic. Again, us versus them, right? Controversial. And then you see this, not many views, but like I told you, it's all about understanding the markets. Which one? More specialized you go, even lesser views is okay because the type of people you're trying to attract are sophisticated people. And that has incredible value because a lot of companies pay so much money just for white papers, right? Like somebody comes in, downloads a white paper and reads it. They run these big conferences and stuff like that, okay? That's one thing. You could also do it in such a way where you get the stuff like what we're teaching, the viral content, and get that go viral just to get monetized, right? And then you can change the topic of your content. That's also okay. Like I've had a YouTube channel where what I did, and there this is like I created some viral content, I got that monetized, and I changed the topic of the content. It's totally fine. Nobody cares, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the content that you do thereafter that matters. Okay. So does that answer your question, Craig, a little bit in terms of like where do you want to put your focus on?
Yeah, thanks for that. But I suppose I was more just concentrating on trying to grow my channel and just making videos for the sake of making videos. So
Yeah, yeah, that's the
I'll take
biggest
some of your
mistake
ideas on
happens
board.
quite a bit. Yeah, like it's a funny thing, right? Like in the beginning, I used to be obsessed about it, like 3 4 years ago. Oh, I gotta get millions of views because if I'm teaching it to people, like I have to have millions of views to show as proof. But like we get our best. Like we've run advertising, we do video ads, we spend a lot of money on that. We've done videos, live streams, all this kind of stuff. I just care about like how much revenue it produces, right? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like that's the biggest metric that I care about. I don't care how many likes it gets, how many shares it gets. At this point, it doesn't even matter because at the end of the day, it's all about the audience, right? Like who's watching, if that person or that man, woman, whatever, like who are like trying to take action. What is it that we're trying to solve for, right? And if you don't know that market yet, Craig, it's totally fine too. See, it's like if you don't know the market, this is what I suggest, folks. There's two things you can do if you don't know what market to not go. Affiliate marketing, meaning you promote a product like Video Express or whatever. You don't own the product, you don't have the support to worry about, blah blah blah, right? Very easy, straightforward. You'll learn a lot as well through the process because you're promoting a product and you're sending traffic over, somebody else is buying it, right? We talked about like how to create AI videos, how to turn text into videos, basic simple videos like that. That is one. Or agency or consulting is another one, where for example you can approach businesses and suggest to them like, look, if you have if you have a YouTube channel, I'll help grow it, right? If you have a website, I'll help it get more leads and sales and traffic or whatever, right? That is another option. It's all a question of understanding where your strengths are and trying to learn through the process. And once you get it, it's super easy, right? In the when I in the early days, right, when I figured out Google, I'll give you an example. When I figured out how to get top rankings on Google, when Google was pretty new, I could only reach so far building my own websites, right? Like I could build a website, but like if I have to create a website on weight loss, for example, I didn't have a weight loss product. I didn't have, let's say yoga studio or Pilates studio or something to send people to. No business. So what I did is just I sent the people over to another product, right, as an affiliate. And then later on, what I did for some local, hyper local industries was I just went and I sold the leads to lawyers, to accountants, or whoever, CPAs. You get the point. Where they would have the lead value, right? So that's the other option. And then after you generate revenue, then you can decide to go a step further and go from there, right? So that is the other one, right? So now I'll answer some questions as well from the chat, but like anybody else wants to raise your hand and you want to just
I just
talk a
have a
little bit?
quick question.
Uh-huh.
On the shorts, do you have to be monetized to make a thumbnail? Because I can't leave a thumbnail. It says you can't make a
So
thumbnail for this video.
from basically the way I believe it does it right now is you can automatically it will generate the first frame as the thumbnail. So you could basically focus on the first frame to have that text. Like meaning if I go here, so like let's say for example I did this right, like here. So the beginning of the video itself, like from the first frame, I will add that text, right? To show up. So then what happens is it's like this, right? When people are scrolling, automatically it is first of all muted the audio. It doesn't autoplay in some cases. And then the other thing is that it stalls, right? And then you can play it and it will do that first frame is one. And the other I believe the other one, let me show you here.
It straight tells me that I can't make a thumbnail. It doesn't even give me that option.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I was just watching a video inside of my YouTube channel. There's a little snippet when you go to your channel where it has like updates from YouTube, and content developers were asking that, and YouTube said we don't have that. I think they don't like it. They don't. They kind of like.
Yeah, I think it's like that whole faceless YouTube channels. A lot of them are being created right now, and then the clickbait problem, right?
And kind of yeah,
So
like
what
what
I've
you were saying
noticed
earlier.
is, yeah, exactly. What I've noticed is like for the shorts that we've done, we don't focus so much on the thumbnail simply because of the fact that it's like auto playing, right? Like if you imagine one video finishes and the other one, like say for example, if I go here, like here, right? Like if I go here, they just keeps playing, right? You see this? Playing, playing,
Right.
playing, playing.
Right.
So because of that, generally thumbnail like is not as relevant for shorts, right? But if you
That's true.
see what's done here really well is from the beginning the text is shown. You see what I'm saying? OpenAI text to video, blah blah blah, from the beginning because it needs to convey that message. It's not showing in the middle of the video. It's not showing like 10 seconds into the video, whatever. It shows from the very beginning. The best ones, this one too. Make your videos more interesting from the beginning, right? So generally, see this again, whatever, right? And this one too, right? You see this?
Right.
From the beginning, text to video, you see? So generally, I'm seeing this doing much better than actually putting a thumbnail. Thumbnail works really well for this
Long videos.
60,
Right.
yeah, longer videos because you have different elements like in the home page it shows up under recommended videos and different other areas, right?
One reason why I
But
asked because it said not yet, so I was just confused.
yeah. All right, so let me see. Let me answer some questions here. Let me see here. Okay. Now, this one was a question, I believe, was can Pinterest image be created? So you can. The only thing is like what I would suggest is um, celebrities and known people you want to avoid. That's the reason why what we're going to do in Talking Photos is when like if you look at even the ones we build, they're all AI generated, so these people don't even exist, right? So you want to be careful with that, simply because why do you want to do that if you don't have to, right? It's as simple as that. And now the other question as well is can you create multiple YouTube channels based off of one channel? Yes. So this is a good point I wanted to make, okay? So you will notice quite a lot of successful channels. They will have only a shorts only channel or long form podcast only channel or one which is only viral videos only. So it doesn't matter. It's all on the content these days, right? So you can do that. Yeah, no worries. The only thing though is understand that it's much harder to get multiple channels to get monetized than once. You want to focus one at a time, right? Pretty much. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the other one. And the other one is this one: strong script overrides thumbnail and shorts, 100%. Yep. Go to the point, and even every second matters for shorts because you're already talking about 30 to 60-second video. Make it 27 seconds if there's some fluff you can get rid of at the end, right? Like I've had like videos for shorts in particular where like it was 10 seconds long and it just doesn't even go into detail of what we're talking about, but still gets a lot of views because everybody finishes that 10-second video because of the curiosity it enabled or whatever it was, right? So that's also fine. I mean, it all depends on how much you can fit in as quick of a format as possible. Okay, so that's the other one. Now the other thing I wanted to mention here, real quick, while we're at it, because I've done, we've already been about an hour and a half, so for the respect for the replay, and if you people want to watch it later and stuff, just to kind of summarize today, right? We discussed a lot of points, and we can do more of these, guys. So appreciate all of you guys showing up here and stuff as well. So what I wanted to kind of summarize today for you folks is, see, it's like this: strengthen your strengths, meaning what's working already, double down on it and keep doing more of it. That will help you get monetized faster, which will open up a lot of other possibilities. Why is monetization important? Well, it will also allow you to generate revenue from your shorts and from your videos, because ads will be displayed. Because ads are displayed, YouTube will give it more reach, because YouTube wants to make money from your videos, obviously, right? They split the advertiser revenue with you, right? Whoever is advertising, number one. The second thing that we discussed that I kind of want to summarize as well is, see, it's like we've shown examples for like videos that are going viral and getting a lot of views and stuff. It doesn't mean that you have to get into that market. Just focus on, even for that matter, the revenue at the end of the day. If monetization is the goal, sure, focus on the traffic views, because weirdly enough, they put like about, I think, whatever, 2 million views or whatever you need, 3 million views or so to get monetized, right? If that's what it takes, get monetized, and then you can go do whatever you want, right? It's similar to, like, for example, where you can't walk before you crawl, and you can't run before you walk. I mean, what's the point discussing about running if you can't even crawl yet, right? Same concept. You want to get monetized, then you can discuss about other points. So that's what views would matter there. Unfortunately, that's the setup right now, and then shorts are the fastest way to get monetized. Now, similarly, even when it comes to long form content and stuff, I want to drive home the point here. It is all about the target audiences and who your customer avatar is. Like, so for example, if I'm going to a hyper narrow market where there's maybe only a few million people interested, just understand that those few million people are not searching on YouTube or on TikTok all day. You only have maybe 10,000 people in a given day. So in that particular case, even 2,000 views or 3,000 views is good enough with those people, right? So don't go for the big numbers. It means nothing. What matters is what results are you getting from it, right? And you will notice that. That's the reason why even a lot of people create content. Even I create content, for that matter, where I don't even care about the views. I only care about, like, at the end of the day, or shares or likes or whatever. I care about, like, is the content, is it reaching the people I want it to reach, right? And then I'm fine with that, because at the end of the day, it all adds up. It's all momentum, right? And understand that, folks, a very important point. Why do I say there's a gold rush right now happening in shorts in particular, or videos like this or whatever? It's because of speed, right? If 90% of all content is being consumed as video, right? That means let's assume in a given, I believe, 3 billion people, 3 with a B, 3 to 4 billion people right now consume content online, right? On a regular basis. Probably 2 billion on Facebook, Instagram, 2 billion on YouTube. You can say duplicates, unique, whatever, doesn't really matter. So my point is, let's say 4 billion people around the world. That's a lot of people. And they have different problems, different solutions they need. So the question then really is, how do we reach specific people with specific problems in specific ways, right? And that is the reason why I'm saying the gold rush matters, because if I accept the fact that 90% of the content consumed online is video, and my audiences are online, then I need to do video. It's just a question then, how do I make it captivating, which is what we're talking about right now, right? Which is, if you're talking about big markets, curiosity, trying to talk about the secret, or trying to create illicit people where, like, okay, I'm trying to watch this video, okay, it's interesting, there's some mystery here, right? If it is a very targeted market, just go with the facts, right? Here's the thing, blah, 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 this is the thing, right? And that works really well for narrow markets, because you're talking about solutions, right? Somebody trying to fix their issue ain't gonna have a time to watch a long video that's drawn out, right? So similarly, also understand that I don't care about the format per se. The only reason why we suggest shorts particular is easy. I could create 100 videos like this that is 30 seconds long, and I need just 1 or 2 to go viral. It's much more doable than it is to spend a lot of time to create these long form content, which takes a long time to create. And on top of that, it has to compete for the limited amount of real estate that's available in the long form content, right? Like imagine in YouTube's perspective or TikTok's perspective, or whatever, much easier for them, right, to have people just scroll like this, right, in their phone like this. Much easier, more profitable for them this way than it is for somebody to only have it appear on the homepage or only appear in the related videos or something like that, right? So that's the other thing. Just to understand in terms of real estate, we like to call it web real estate. It's much easier for them to do this, and because of the fact that I was trying to also get home the point, which is with AI in particular, even platforms like TikTok are actually promoting this concept of AI video because they also understand that people don't have the time to create perfect ads, perfect videos, and all that stuff from scratch. They want advertisers to advertise in their platform, so they're promoting it. So it's like this concept of like, oh, I'm going to get penalized if that video is AI generated doesn't apply. It's almost like, back in the day before the calculator was used, you couldn't ban the calculator, right? Like once it was in play, it was in play, right? You can use it as a tool. Similarly, like once laptops came, laptops are fair games. When mobile phones came, it was part of the game, right? You can't say like, oh, mobile phones are banned for my applications, or you cannot use it, or my videos will not play on mobile devices. It's a must now, right? So similarly, they're all adapting to that. That's important that you folks can understand this. And also, now the other point I want to drive home, and all you folks appreciate you for being here, is understand that it is only hard until you figure it out, right? So just like with anything, it's all about like giving it an attempt, and then you're like, oh, it was that easy? I didn't think about it. And similarly, when we're talking about all this stuff for a lot of people, it's like, you're like, oh, I've heard that before. You look at these titles we talk about, but it's such a brand new concept. Like there's research that came about, 97% of the world doesn't even know that AI can create video. You know what I mean? You can create videos with the help of AI. So that means it's such a brand new concept. So it's really, we're in the frontier, right, of the next generation of content that can be created. So really, stuff that we're talking right now is very revolutionary if you think about the common audience, right? So really, what you have to think about then is, how can I get as much content out there in the right way, the right modality, right? Modality means vertical videos will have to be fast paced. Modality means, let's say, if I'm creating a video which requires a mystery and stuff like that for certain industries, which is, we like to call these industries as, so just last point I'm going to make on this front, then we'll continue this conversation at other training as well, is there's always this concept, right, which is high knowledge industries, low knowledge industries, and no knowledge industries, right? So no knowledge means when somebody's watching video, they have no knowledge about it. That's the mass market. Somebody has a little bit more knowledge, that is a little bit higher level, like let's say 80% was the first one, the other one maybe is 15%. Hyper high knowledge would be 5%, right? So really, when you're trying to go for something that is mass market, you gotta assume people have no clue what you're talking about. So the script writing, everything would be based on that. When I'm prompting and I'm trying to create scripts, that's what I'll focus on. I'll assume people have no clue what I'm talking about, and assume that they have no clue, and then go from there. Similarly, even if I'm going for something like ketogenic diet, I try to get, that's a more hyper targeted. Maybe 15% of all weight loss market is familiar with that. Now, I cannot assume that these people have not tried other things in the past. So I'll always say ketogenic diet versus carnivore diet. Why carnivore diet sucks and ketogenic diet is better. Always do us versus them, because these people are already comparing, right, between each other. So that's why I say, as AI becomes much more straightforward in terms of video, targeting becomes more important. Who your audience is, that's all you got to worry about. And eventually, even that will be eliminated, right? In maybe a couple of years, 3 years down the line, where YouTube will be like, okay, this content, I know who will like it. I'll just give it. I'll create the titles, I'll create a description based on the video you give it. That's going to happen. But we're not there yet. And then we don't want to go there yet too, because if that happens, it's going to be much harder for anybody to really succeed now, because it's going to just be about really a bunch of garbage content, and you have to sift through a lot of the stuff, right? So that's the other one. Now, the other point I wanted to make, Yash, you want to chime in here, which I wanted to kind of have you do, is we talked about like today, right? Like we talked about the foundations, right? The people are like, okay, I want to get started. What do I do? What type of videos? I'm trying to create, shorts. Why do I create shorts? And like, if I want to go into a very big market, like self-help or whatever, motivation, what are the type of content I'm trying to create, right? So what I wanted to talk about next, right? I think as a next phase, right? Like the next training session, when we have something like that. And if you folks enjoyed this, we'll have a replay for this one too as we go along. Is what I want to do is more, if you will, customer campaign. So for you folks, right? Craig and Joshua, KG, Ray, Steve, and other folks who are watching, just let us know. Like you can email our support team or Skype or in our Facebook group right here. Just let us know like what content you're trying to create or your any video you've uploaded. Put it up on our Facebook group as well. And let us know, okay, this is the video, Paul, give me some feedback, right? And we will use that video and see how we can improve it in the next training as well, go in depth on that. And similarly, what I also wanted to go is, as I told you, one of the big differences that we're doing, and that's also going to be part of the Video Express 2.0, and of course all that update will be free for you folks, is basically this concept where we are going to be completely eliminating the concept of stock footage or b-roll footage, right? So then really, I mean, what that's going to allow you to do is storytelling becomes an important aspect, and different markets have different aspects, right? So we're going to be talking about that as well. So what we're going to focus on the next training, Yash, what I think we should do is, let's say somebody has no product, no service. How can they do affiliate marketing with shorts, right? We can talk about that. If somebody already has a product or service, how do you sell that product? If they want to do consulting or whatever in like some market, like say dentist, chiropractor, whatever, like how do you focus on that market specifically in, to get the clients, right? Get the views. We'll focus on that next one. But yeah, you go ahead, Yash. You've seen some comments as well. You can answer some questions here. I think you're muted. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So there's so many interesting stuff. Actually, I just got this thing where definitely number one thing we're going to talk about, we have actually went into so much detail into YouTube Shorts in a previous training. Well, let me tell you something. There's another platform that's just like YouTube Shorts, allows vertical videos, but that has a direct integration of millions of product at its hands, and you can post review AI review videos. So actually, I got this idea from Steve and then from Ray as well, right? So as you guys are creating a book, right, and as you know that there are like millions of books out there, popular books, non-popular books. By the way, did you know that TikTok Shop has recently allowed people to sell books? Basically, as an affiliate, you can link to other people, other books, and you can do a review of that in the same style that how Paul was mentioning. What was the book name? The Pandora prescription, right? So you can review that. You can have it just like Joshua was just created the channel trainer. You can have a realistic human review that some, and then you can have an image of the book there, and you can link to that. I'll have a tutorial about that, and I will show you some case studies how people are doing it with AI videos, where the guy is not even real. The video is AI, and it's talking about the video, and the video links to the book. Video links to the book who already is there, and when people purchase that, you don't need to worry about it. They just give you the commission for that, and it's just viral. It's just going viral these days, and I'll show you in the next training. It's very, very cool, because all you have to do is like basically reviewing these kind of books and stuff like that. And if you want to sell them, you can do that. Also, another suggestion I have for you, Steve, it's definitely what Paul had mentioned, these, in that tone, in that wording. Basically, what you need to make sure that how that person is watching that in doing that in titles, you need to make sure your first 5 seconds says that. In shorts, nobody watches title, right? Imagine I'm scrolling, right? I'm scrolling through the shorts. Nobody watches the title, right? That is why you're not getting results. SEO is not working for shorts. Why? Because short is a very demand focused. The demand is already there. You're just feeding the demand. Versus SEO is more demand capture. Does that make sense? SEO captures the demand. Somebody searches for organic farming, you show your video to them. But somebody just scrolling the reel, they just hop on your video. That is demand generation, right? So that's why in title, no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how much time you put in, that's good. One liners are great, but the make and break in your videos, and specifically for anyone who does the similar category kind of videos, is your first 5 seconds. If you say that Well, did you know about the 33 knowledge? Only select few people know. By the way, I want to know, I'm going to tell you stuff like that. If you get into that's very powerful. Second, I did deeply analyze your channel as well. I keep on checking all your channels, guys. I did deeply analyze your channel. The number one thing I also see that could potentially help you together if you do it properly is basically, if you know, if you can right now on the Video Express, you can generate talking statue videos as well. So you can have a statue. I'm gonna do a tutorial of that. I'm gonna give you some prompts. Okay, you can have a statue of, let's say, like Stoic or for Aristotle or something, and you can make it speak. Well, that's powerful, right? That catches attention. So now, if you're talking about the motivational and inspiration and this kind of videos, well, you better let them do the talking for you as a spokesperson, as opposed to 3D animation character that kind of gives the how do I say it, right, gives the feel to that, gives the power to that, right? If you combine these kind of, basically, if you change the spokesperson to like these high known Aristotle, Zeus, I see Zeus videos, right? Like you see all these kind of like and if you see like for example, for there's another, I've got so many examples, right? We got Aristotle, we got maybe, do you remember any? Oh yeah, by the way, you can even make any like for example, famous Statue of Liberty talking, Mona Lisa painting video talking. You can do that kind of, so that catches attention, right, all of a sudden. So stuff like that, you can play with it, and then that's going to be really powerful. So yeah, I wanted to add that. Yeah, and say same thing, Ray, for you. TikTok Shop affiliate, right? So YouTube is good. All it takes you to 5 minutes to do the same thing, to upload the same video on TikTok, double your reach overnight.
So eventually we'll be able to do that, though, right? Not now. We can't create talking statues.
Sorry, what you saying?
Can we create talking statues now, or is that something in the future?
You can right now. It's all about the prompts. Well, I'll do the step-by-step training. I'll give you my prompt guides. So basically, I actually got one. If you give me 1 minute, I can find and I'll show you to you. But 1 second. So
I got a quick question. Josh, you mentioned TikTok. I've been posting my YouTube shorts on TikTok, and I've been getting like 1-2 views on those videos over there. I've uploaded videos in the past on different things, and I usually get like at least a few hundred. So I'm just wondering if TikTok doesn't like.
Yeah. So I agree. So how old is your account, by the way?
I'm sorry.
How old is your account?
I just had to recreate it. TikTok likes to shut down your channels if you don't keep them active. So I recreated it.
When did you recreate it?
A couple of weeks ago.
And how many videos you have posted?
Like 3.
Yeah, you gotta get more traction.
Yeah, well, for another channel, I have another one where I uploaded a human bot video. That one got a couple hundred, like 200, and it was just one video, brand new channel.
Okay, so I'll tell you how it works, and then you can kind of So what kind of videos are they? In general?
They were the 3D or 3D cinematic Video Express inspirational videos like that are on YouTube.
Okay, so the two things I would say is on TikTok, yes, if it is the same platform, the audience is a little bit different. The audience sophistication, right? As we like to call it, right? So on YouTube Shorts, it's more like So the YouTube Shorts, people are like more like, how would I say, aware, like they're more the awareness. TikTok is like funny. You'll see those meow cat videos, singing cat videos viral on TikTok because
more realistic in nature on TikTok.
No, like not realistic. What I would say is, like, for YouTube, it has to tease the curiosity, so to speak. For TikTok, it has to be virality. Virality meaning like, okay, it's like funny, It's like, oh, it's nice. It's a very sad, So YouTube has to evoke the curiosity. Here on the other side, TikTok works more on an emotional basis, right? it's so sad. Wow, it's so happy. Wow, it should not happen to this. It should not happen to her. Or maybe I'll tell you the kind of content that works on TikTok, right? The kind of content works on TikTok that as if, let's say I'm a son, right? As if someone has created a video where it shows like how sons are like that, and I like that, as I share it to my mom. So shareable content, you see, like I want my mom to listen something, I share it. So basically something that evoke emotion, any strong emotion. You know what I'm trying to say? Like for example, oh, that's so sad, because I have got, like, for previous training, I can tell you I'm so excited about that. Okay, this is out of the topic, by the way. True crime documentary stories. There are some, like there's like some drama, some surprise and stuff like that that's being narrated. That kind of videos. You know what I'm trying to say?
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll show you some example, guys. Don't worry. I'll show you the statue ones. I'll show you this one. I'll show you the TikTok shop affiliate books one, where people are creating these mini AI videos and it's just linking with books. All they're doing, they're not writing the book, they're not publishing the book, they're not running any ad, they're not even like doing anything else. All they're doing is they're asking AI Mistral to write the review for their book. They're putting that through for a spokesperson, like a character speaking, and then linking that book. And anyone who goes there and buys that book, they're making commission out of that. Free, organic. I'll show you some case. You'll blown away. Right? That's a new industry on itself, like the book reviews. And you can do the same thing where you can also publish your books if you want to. Other people will promote it. Same. So that's the thing, guys. How many of you guys enjoyed? By the way, KGDPU, we have never got a chance to come to you. So I love your. I know you're from India, and I know it's pretty late over here as well. And really appreciate everyone who's watching us on the live right now on the call, and everyone who's spending time. I really appreciate it. But if you wanted to ask questions, I saw that you created a Malayalam video. That was really nice. Any feedback, any questions, anything you wanted to add here? Mike.
Yeah, yes. Yash and everybody. In the this bit subtitle, there is no Malayalam. Actually, I have made a video in Malayalam in Video Express, but in the subtitle up there is no Malayalam. So
Malay language is not available. Okay, let me just make a note of that. I'll get that
in the support this thing. They will do it. And second thing is these two constitution characters we are making, and if you want to both character in one frame, is how can we be consistent?
Okay. So both characters, just like I think you have mentioned, and I think we have mentioned it previously as well. Basically, for example, both characters speaking in one looks weird.
Not speaking, then there may be in one this thing frame, but their character must be similar only.
Okay, so you mean like same looking characters?
For one person we can do it continuously we can do. Other person also, single person continuously we can do it. But both of them together can we do it?
Two characters on the same
face. Same face.
I see. Yes, you can do that. It's like you can do with the prompt. So basically, you remember the character design prompt that I had shared in my 3D video, where how you can come up with a character design. So all you have to do is you have to create two different characters, right? There's a hack to that, So basically, if you want the same characters, you could just duplicate those videos in an editor and just show that, right? Like if you want the same character. If you want multiple characters, well, you can ask AI to generate multiple character, design them, and you can put two prompts one by one, and then it will do that. So yeah.
you can. He's asking if you can have two characters talking in the same scene at the same time.
No, I think he's not. Are you talking about talking?
No. I have told
okay. I'm sorry. I thought that's where you're
No
at.
problem.
That would be cool though.
Yeah, 100%.
One more thing I just want to tell.
Sure.
I'm new to all these things. I have just started the affiliate marketing, and then I thought of doing some videos. I purchased this. So,
when did you start? Like how long it's been you doing affiliate? So what kind of affiliate stuff you're doing? Are you doing organic, paid?
in the process. Started early because now I am a retired person. I just want to do something, so I just started early. I
Wow.
thought of
Okay.
doing some videos. That's why I purchased this.
Okay.
Now
Wonderful. Thank you so
I
much.
think I
Mhm.
can do some that children's video, something like that. The shorts, video shorts in YouTube. Then
Yeah, I think yeah. So because I'm from India and I can tell you so 100% video shorts are the way to go for you, like video stories and video shorts that we had mentioned where it's talking about like a moral lesson. You remember, do you guys have a document that I shared with you? I keep on adding new channels over there. Do you know that video top AI video case studies where I mentioned different channels who are doing well and why they're doing well? Do you guys have
I,
a
I don't
no?
know.
Oh, okay, no problem. Let's show it to you once. Okay. Yeah, so basically, please, I mentioned some Hindi channels here as well. Please go here, look at it, and 1 second, let me just drop that in the chat box though.
I think I have it here.
Okay, I just dropped it by the way, just in case, for you guys.
What is this?
So,
Oh, no, sorry. I had to step out for a second. I was just asking what this was. I'll just click on it.
no problem. Yeah, so I just stopped it. So basically, I've analyzed, some channels. So what I would suggest is reverse engineering is working really well, right? Is this is another strategy for Steve as well, right? Is let's say if you wanted to know what's working, it's better follow the path of what's already working, so you can kind of get that rolling. So you'll see these channels and these niches and these industries that are doing really well, and you can see their popular videos and you kind of get the idea from that. So that will help you a lot, by the way, to
Okay.
speed up the things.
Okay.
Awesome. Perfect, guys. Thank you so much. It's been almost 2 hours since we have been doing this. I really appreciate all your time and your feedback. I really appreciate it. We will keep on doing it. I'll keep you guys posted. And thank you so much for making this so much fun, engaging, and just amazing. So love that. Thank you so much, guys. I will talk to you. We'll talk to you in the next one. Any last thing you wanna like wrap
Thanks
up
for
with?
having us. Thanks for allowing me to be
Thanks
here.
for having
Are
us.
we invited to the next one?
You are.
All right.
Awesome. Perfect. If anyone else who wants to join, please do let us know in the comments below. We will also let you in, and then we will be, it's so fun. It's so amazing. So fun to talk to you and help you guys every step of the way. So, again, guys, thank you so much. Till then, see you in the next stream. Till then, take care of yourself, your family, and your health. Talk to you soon.
All right,
Take
thanks
care.
a lot. Have a good night.
Thank
Thanks a lot.
you.